Hey guys, Jordan here, and today what I want to do is talk about a couple of the new Rebirth titles from DC. So what I'll be doing is I'll be having a look at the first issues from each. From what I've seen, there appears to be a Rebirth title and then an actual #1 issue. So where that is the case and I have that, I'll try and do that review. But anyway, as of today, I'll be having a look at the new Detective Comics. Now, this isn't actually #1, I think they're just continuing this series as it's titled 934, but it is a new story that's starting. So if we have a look into it, you can see this is the cover. We get a nice view of, as you can see, Clayface, Batman, Robin. We also get Batwoman, Cassandra Cain as Orphan here, and I can't actually remember her name, but when I get into the comic I'll let you know what that is. So we start off, what we see, Gotham City 2 days ago. We see someone that appears to be Batman chasing down Azrael. If you don't know who Azrael is, it's Jean-Paul Valley, who took over as Batman in the Nightfall storyline. But anyway, he is a Knight of the Order of Saint Dumas, and he looks a bit like that. Basically, a bit similar to Batman. He uses kind of gadgets and weaponry. He has a knife to come out his gauntlet, but he's only featured minorly in this story, so that's just a bit of background on him. So what we see is someone that looks like Batman has actually beat him up, and by the time the actual Batman gets there, we discover that this Batman fake is not actually the real Batman, as the real Batman crashes through just a minute later and finds that someone has been watching him. As when Batman asks who beat up Azrael said that it was Batman. We then cut to see Batwoman going through the city. She's talking to her dad. It's basically just a bit of background on the character, saying that she used to be in the military, that she could have her own squadron by now, but that she has chosen to become Batgirl. It's not Batgirl, sorry, Batwoman. So that's her there. And we see the same cameras that were following Batman earlier on that Batman destroyed are actually following Batgirl too. So she returns home. We find that Batman has entered her house and has found the camera that's watching her. So as we go on, he's basically discussing that this technology he's found is much beyond him, beyond anything in the military just now, and that this is 10 years later, this technology is 10 years further on than anything that should be available. And he's also found that this technology is it's not acting on its own, it's actually part of a swarm, which means there's many of these things going around. So basically what Batman is saying that he needs to create a team of Gotham vigilantes, and he wants to recruit Batgirl, I keep calling her Batgirl, sorry. He wants to recruit Batwoman to lead this team and train them alongside himself, because he says her military training will better allow him to do so. He then reveals himself to Bruce Wayne to her, but she seems to already know this, and that's essentially the end of his conversation with Batwoman there. We then move into the spoiler, that's who it is. So the spoiler's on the front here, which is Stephanie Brown, who's also been a Robin, if I'm not mistaken, in the past. She's now spoiler. She is breaking in on some penguin thugs or goons while they're doing some sort of robbery. And she is actually, as it says here, the daughter of Cluemaster. So what these issues are doing is they seem to tend to give us a bit of background on each of the characters. And so she's beating up those she's beating up the penguin thugs, and as we see, Robin actually comes in. This Robin being Red Robin, and Tim Drake the second Robin. Yes. So we see they're also being watched by this kind of these cameras. They're actually kind of look like Batman technology. And then we also see that Batman and Batwoman show up and tell them that they have to join them. Next we see is Cassandra Cain showing up as Orphan. We get a bit of history about her. She was engineered by her father away from other children to be a weapon. Her first language was violence. Shows she's extremely dangerous and doesn't save very much. So basically she stops a man attacking a young family. Then we just get a wee section on her, and basically it's just a lead up to Batman and Batwoman recruiting them. The next thing we see, it cuts to the Gotham Theatre, where we see Basil Carlo, also known as Clayface, is what is broken out of Arkham and was watching one of his old movies. And a strange and interesting move here, actually. He's recruited by Batman and Batwoman to be part of this new team he's forming. And basically, he just says that they're all being Batman just says that they're all being watched, and they have to protect Gotham now with this new team. So the team is now comprised of Batman, Batwoman, Clayface, Cassandra Cain as Orphan, Stephanie Byrne as Spoiler, and Tim Drake's Red Robin. And yeah, so that's more or less the end of it, and we end off with one of these little cameras sitting there and saying, he really thinks his little team can fight back, doesn't he? So we've actually no indication as to who this Batman imposter is as of yet, who's watching them all. Speculation for yourself. I honestly couldn't, too early to say for me at this point. And the very last page you get here is we get an army of kind of bat-looking soldiers with a shadowy figure saying, let's see how they stand up against an army. So this starts the rise of the Batman, the young and the brave. So I really enjoyed this comic. I think this is something I'll be continuing with. I like the concepts they're bringing in here. I like that we get the younger characters like Robin and Spoiler, as well as Cassandra Cain's Orphan. I think that's a very interesting character too. Batwoman I always quite enjoyed, and Clayface is actually one of my favourite Batman villains, and to see him be more of an anti-hero type thing, because if you look at his backstory, it actually makes more sense for him to be a kind of anti-hero than to just be a straight villain like many of the other ones. So I think this is a very good work here, and I'll be picking this up again, and I'll be doing more reviews of the comics that come out in the series. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more of the DC Universe Rebirth comics I'll be doing. I'll be doing the Rebirth and first issue of Green Lantern, the issue 1 of The Flash, issue 1 of Green Arrow, Action Comics, the newest one, issue 1 of Superman, and the Rebirth and issue 1 of Batman. So if you'd like to see any of those, please stay tuned, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.